Hey everybody, GameHounds podcast. We're live on Twitch and YouTube, and we have not started the podcast yet. And we are just a two-man team, two-chair today. Andrew came home from work today and sent us a text that he is not feeling well, so it's just us. How you doing, Nick?
I'm good.
So what do you have on tap to talk during the show today?
I've actually played a couple games, a fair number.
Just give me titles so I can create banners.
Okay, Erica.
Is that with a C or a K?
Erica.
Okay.
Fall Guys
No, I did too.
and Blasphemous.
Cool.
So
nobody's in the
Shepard,
chat
I just
room
gotta
yet.
lean forward a little bit. I gotta celebrate.
He's got a cat in his he's cradling his cat like a baby. Show the people.
There's no one there yet.
True.
I gotta
Okay,
wait.
so
I gotta
got
wait
somebody.
for
We got somebody in the chat room now. We got AC Wraith.
I'll show off Shepard to AC Wraith. Here.
Yeah.
What if I'll try to.
There's the boy.
There. This is how I'm gonna do the podcast.
That cat so loves you. God, that cat loves you.
This cat is also annoying as fuck. Like you see this is the nice time. In the morning, like, because he gets fed on 12-hour intervals.
Uh-huh.
So that means 6 at night and 6 in the morning.
6 in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
You're up at 6 in the morning? That's impressive.
I get up to feed him and then I go back to bed.
Oh, for fuck's sake, that cat has you so whipped.
Well, because that's the schedule he got used to, because Caitlin would get up at 6 in the morning a lot to go to work.
Okay.
And so but god damn it, at 5:30, that little fucker starts meowing.
Yeah, well,
And
because he's got you whipped. He knows how to, yank your chain.
But it's like, it's not time for dinner yet, so shut up. And there are times when I've like chased him around the apartment with a squirt bottle to be quiet.
Defeating the purpose of not getting up, of him meowing. I mean, you're up clearly.
Well, I don't feed him though.
Still, even so,
I don't feed him early.
You chase him around for a half hour, which I'm sure he loves.
Oh no, I do it while shaking a big old tube toy at him, and he does not like it. Best automatic cat feeders. I have a cat feeder, but it's battery operated, so I don't want to use it too much. And I have read that a good way to get cats like stop meowing for food is to use an automatic feeder, so that you would disassociate you from the food.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Well,
I have one if you want it.
Well, because the thing is, I would have to use that for Shepard, but I would still have to feed Jupiter, because I can't feed both of them.
You can feed both of them on automatic cat feeders. 2 feeders.
Jupiter gets fed in the cage though, and he has to spend at night in the cage, otherwise he might roam and piss everywhere because he's
right.
Not
well, then put the feeder in the cage. How big is this cage?
It's a large sized dog cage, but between a litter box, a cat bed, and an automatic feeder, there's not a whole lot of room in there.
Oh, he'll be fine. He's a cat. You are putting way too much emphasis on their space. They don't give a fuck.
Hey, that little dude has a bad heart, and he has survived against all odds. I gotta spoil him while he's alive.
All right, so you can move
this guy can go eat shit, because he's gonna be around forever, but Jupiter has to be spoiled.
Oh my god. Jupiter's gonna last forever. You know that, right?
Probably.
Jupiter's gonna be 20 and gonna be like,
He's no, not almost 2.
Yeah.
He's like 1.5.
That's, I
That's
mean,
still
he
pretty
was
good
not, he
for.
was a hospice cat that wasn't supposed to last 6 months. It's pretty good.
Yeah. When we took him in, he was supposed to last 2 months, and now
Yeah.
he's a year and a half. So
Yep. So, all right. Well, you can move the camera back and then we can
yeah,
start doing the show.
I'm
How's
sorry,
everybody
Shepard. I
doing?
need to slightly interrupt your sleep.
Oh,
Let me
no.
and the
How's
other cat.
everybody doing? Got Bitters in the chat room. Got AC Wraith in the chat room. That's all we know about right now. How's your week? Everybody still safe? Everybody still asymptomatic? Everybody still wearing masks and washing hands?
Yes, I'm doing that. I'm still good. Actually, got a couple new masks from Amazon the other week,
Mhm.
which are much. They're not quite as like it's a different material, and so it's a lot lighter. Doesn't quite feel as heavy.
Yeah.
It's nice.
If you didn't hear it, Andrew is off today. He got home from work and he's feeling like crap. So I told you, I gave him the phone number for his local public health organization, for public health department, to make an appointment. Because if you feel like crap, make an appointment before you think you need to make
I
an
mean, at
appointment.
this point,
Because it's
you
usually a
may as
couple of days
well.
before you weigh. Yeah. And if you call on a weekend, especially on a Sunday, that's the public health departments normally release their schedules, like open up for taking appointments on Sundays for the whole week. So if you call on a Sunday, you're going to get an appointment. If you call on a Thursday, chances are you're not going to get an appointment. So call early. And we're enjoying if you ever want to know exactly how gray Edie is, this is COVID gray. Edie is gray, very gray. EC Ray says, I've been falling asleep too early and waking up too early. I still need to contact the clinic for sleep apnea tests since they never got back to me. Yeah, let me throw this out there for anyone who's listening. If you need to go to the to the doctor for an appointment or a checkup, or you've got something if you've wanted the doc, it's like, I really should have a doctor look at that thing. Do it now. There's nobody in making appointments. Like, of course, all of the appointments disappeared because everybody was like, I don't want to get COVID. First off, you're not going to catch COVID from a doctor's office. They're good. They do their cleaning and they check everything and they are super on top of stuff. But number two is you can walk into your doctor's office and pretty much get an appointment at this point. So don't put things off. In fact, if there's anything that's been bothering you that you really think you should have seen, but you don't really want to, it's going to be a pain in the ass, go now, because you can knock it out in a week, go from making the doctor's appointment to having the doctor's appointment to getting the referral to whatever specialist to seeing the referral to the other specialist to getting your prescription in less than a week for really involved stuff. I think I told you about my MRI that I was I got an appointment with the doctor for the next day. The doctor saw me. I got an MRI appointment for the end of the week. Had the MRI. It took me less than a half hour from the point I got out of the car to get back into the car. And by 4:00 that day, I had my MRI results. That never happens. Never happens. That you actually have all that stuff just lined up. Radiologist is sitting here going, give me something to read. Give me something to read. And the doctors are taking more time with you because they don't have a lot of appointments right after you. So sometimes you can get, instead of a 15-minute appointment, a half-hour appointment because they got nothing else to do. They're bored. So go. Don't put it off. Get your shit done now. That is my public health announcement. All right. So I think we got everything. We got waveforms for Nick on the podcast. Anything you want to discuss before we start off the show? other than the Patreon. Thank you very much to all our patrons on Patreon. We definitely appreciate you. Please, 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 if you have not supported this show, this Patreon, all we ask is $1 a month, just so that we can do this video feed. I'm happy to pay for all of the audio feed. I mean, I've been paying for it for 13 years, might as well keep doing it. But the video feed is an extra cost, and you guys are absolutely sponsoring it. So that's all we ask. $1 a month to help pay for this right here, what you're seeing. And you can do it through patreon.com/GameHounds. Thank you very much, AC Wraith. I appreciate that. And yeah, thanks to all of our patrons. You guys are awesome. You're making this possible. That we're only here because you've done it. That you've been able to offset this cost. Oh, AC Race is in the chat room. He says, I'm here in spirit.
Okay, before we start, I want to go make sure Jupiter isn't
peeing
scratching at something.
All right. Go do what you need to do. So, man, I'm feeling super low energy today. I don't know why. I slept well. Ralph was there. But Ralph actually, since I've been yelling at him from when he wakes me up lying in bed, which if you're just joining us for the first time, I live in a flat that actually live in a house that is a very old house, and it was built touching an apartment building next door. And right outside my bedroom window is a courtyard where all of the apartments in the building next door, their bathroom windows open up into that courtyard. And the guy closest that lives in the apartment closest to me with his window, leaves his window open in his bathroom. And every day at between 7 and 8 a.m., he throws up loudly, like shouts into his porcelain bowl, which is like an acoustic bowl that just everybody can hear it. And of course, I'm a light sleeper. It wakes me up. I lived here in this place for almost 30 years now and really never had a problem. But yeah, that started happening about a month ago. So I've nicknamed him Ralph, and Ralph wakes me up every single morning, and it's gotten so that I just gotten tired of it. And so I've been just lying. When he wakes me up in the morning, I lie in bed and I yell at Ralph about how everybody can hear him when he shouts into the toilet while he's throwing up, that you can throw up silently. I know, I'm a girl. I've done that. It's very, very easy to do. It just takes a little mindfulness. But he is still, he's quieter now. He's no longer into the toilet. He's now being very quiet as he throws up in the toilet, but still slams the toilet seat up and then slams it down when he leaves. So, he's trying. I'll give him that. I'll be very, gracious about it and say he's trying. And he waited until 9:30 this morning on a Sunday. So at least I haven't decided if he's an alcoholic or if he's got I don't think he has a health condition, because it's been going on for way, way too long as if it was a health condition. I think he's either an alcoholic or he's doing it intentionally, like purging, because many times he goes there and he doesn't actually puke. He just tries to force himself. And that tells me, yeah, you're doing this AC Ray says, save it for the GameHounds OnlyFans. I am saying it for the GameHounds OnlyFans. What? Talking about Ralph.
Oh.
But yeah, I got woken up this morning by Ralph. He waited until 9:30 this morning to wake me up, which was great.
Oh, how nice.
But man, and I went to bed kind of early last night. I started feeling extremely tired and got up and it's like, okay, I'm going to go to bed. It's probably super late because I'm dragging hard. And I looked up and it was 12:45. It's like, ooh, I'm getting
I
there.
did the exact opposite thing.
Yeah, you were up late. I saw you watching playing Blasphemous last. By the way, you missed your Saturday night gaming night with me. We were
Yeah,
going to either play ESO or Fall Guys, and you didn't do it.
never sent me a text because I was on. I was waiting for you to send something. You know,
Yep.
you never sent a message.
Yeah.
And I got super into Blasphemous. Oh yeah, yeah.
Andrew says that we're going to start wearing skimpy outfits when we reach our stretch goals. No.
Start wearing cat ears and nothing else.
Oh, no. Nobody wants to see that. Sorry. All right. Shall we start the show, sir?
Sure.
Okay. I am muting you and me and starting show. Oh, I forgot to type this in. So, what did you do this weekend? Just filling time so that I can actually type this out because I forgot to do that.
What did I do? I cleaned, played games, started watching The Magicians, the season 4. I've been wanting to get into that again.
I watched it. It's okay. It's all right.
The Magician is one of the best shows on TV.
Yeah, it is. It is. But season 4 is okay.
Oh, okay. I watched the first 2 episodes, and it reminded me why I like that show so much, in that it does not waste your time. Like, they get into the story. By the second episode, characters that were split up are now together again, and I'm like, yes, this is good. Instead of all the
season 4 is the last season or the next to the last season?
It's the most recent one on Netflix, but there was a season 5 that aired.
Oh,
it's not on Netflix.
4. Yeah, season 4 is very good. Season 5. Yeah, we loved The Magicians, and I was sorry to see it go. The end is a little weird.
Is season 5 the last season?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I look forward to that whenever it comes out on Netflix.
Season 4, does it have Quentin or not?
Yes.
Oh, then season 6 is last season.
Okay.
No, maybe.
Season 4 starts with them all having different identities.
I can't remember now. Someone will know.
Okay, well, regardless.
Is Magicians end season 5 or season 6? But yeah, it's a great show.
I know.
They make it hang together. The only thing is that they went a little overboard the farther into the seasons they went with the musical episodes. Like, they were great for a one-off, but I think they lost their minds a little bit. Okay, yeah, season 5 is supposed to be the last one. The Ender does open up some possibility for future episodes, but it's pretty well wraps it all up, and that's it.
That's fine. That's what I need. I also finished. I spent the last week watching a lot of Avatar: The Last Airbender, because that was on Netflix, and I finished that. My God, that is a good show.
Really? I remember watching it when it first came out in its first season, and then they changed the schedule, and the schedule wasn't the same as it was, and so I didn't end up watching it back when, like when it started. Back in the Samurai Jack era.
I hadn't seen a single episode of it. I had heard
Cartoon Network
things about it. I'd heard good things about it, but it was just not really available. And when it first came out, I wasn't interested in watching it. But yeah, now that even from the first episode, just the choreography is great. And then as it gets further into the seasons, it's the kind of show where the first season, I watched it over the course of a month, was I'm going to watch an episode or two, while I eat dinner or something like that. Second season, I watched it over the course of a couple weeks. Third season, I watched over the course of a single week. And it's when you start increasing the amount that you watch a show from season to season, that's clearly a sign they're doing something right.
Right.
And God, yeah, it's just, as it gets closer to the end, it just gets so compelling, and the character arcs are so good. animation is so good. The everything about it is so good. It blows me away.
Well, the amount of love that Avatar is getting in the Avatar: The Last Airbender is getting very big difference between the two. Is getting in the chat room is kind of
Yeah,
crazy.
it surprised me just watching it and knowing the superlatives that people have said about it, and actually watching it for myself and realizing, oh shit, they were right. Like,
All right.
holy crap.
Okay. Looks like I'll be watching that.
There's one like for the animation of just like a little touch that surprised me that was just so cool. There's one fight in the first season that takes place on a moonless night, and they represent that by drawing everything in black and white. But, you know, one of the characters, they control the elements as they fight, and one of the characters controls fire. So every time they punch, there's this little jet of fire that comes out of their hand. Every time they do, that lights up the environment and the people around him. So you have this black and white world, and every punch suddenly brings these flashes of color to the characters and to the world around it. And it's
That's
just,
so cool.
it's like, oh wow, this, like, they didn't have to do that, but the fact that they did is like, okay, that's just a really cool touch.
Yep. All right. Are we ready to do the show?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's do this show. Going live.
Modern culture and technology, and these podcasters are big fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom says to take out the trash and do your homework.
All right, mics are hot. Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 557. It is August 9th, 2020. I'm here, Edie Sellers, with Nick D. Nicola. We have no Andrew today. Andrew is feeling under the weather. He is in the chat room on YouTube. If you want to watch us live, you can go to youtube.com. Look for GameHounds Vids. That's VIDS. Or we are on Twitch as The GameHounds. Check us out there. Or if you want to just listen in the live stream on Spreaker, please feel free to. Whatever. We're good. Nick, how are you? How was your week?
I'm good. My week was good.
We were talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Nick was saying that everything you heard about it is absolutely true as far as it's being a awesome show.
Yeah, I'm glad it came to Netflix. I remember I was looking for a way to watch it before, and I found like some library app that I could watch the first season on it, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll keep this like on a wish list and just remember it for the future. And then it came to Netflix. So thank you, Netflix.
So are all the seasons on Netflix?
Yeah.
All right, because I would have to rewatch it from the beginning.
Yeah, and it's not that hard. Like it reminded me, and this is weird. Like, so it has a kid show. Mm-hmm. A lot of the episodes, especially in the first and second season, are standalone. Where it's like, hey, here's the one episode. And what I love about that is like the first half is usually setting up some conflict, and the second half is usually a cool fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
But just the fact that here's a standalone episode that you can watch beginning to end, 20 minutes. And it's like, I'm going to watch 2 of these and I feel like I got a complete story. And that's so satisfying after having watched a bunch of series that it's like, we're going to drag this out for 13 episodes. Like, yeah. I started watching this show called Warrior Nun on Netflix.
Oh, how is that? I've been looking at that.
The first episode is kind of boring because nothing really happens.
Oh.
I ended up fast forwarding through a lot of it, and there's some interesting stuff because the trailer looks kind of cool, and the trailer has a couple fight scenes that look like they're really well choreographed. There's not a single fucking fight scene in the whole first episode.
So much for being a warrior. It's the nun part. It's the nun half of the season.
I'm watching it, and it's like it's going into the character and like how she used to be a paraplegic, and then the mystical thing happened, and she can walk. And it's like, oh, okay, I see where you're going. And she's like runs away from a church and sort of befriends these squatters in this mansion. And it's like gets into their story and her relationship with them. And I'm like, okay, but what about like the fucking demons that were hunting you down in the first 10 minutes? Like, are we going to get back to them at all? No. Oh, okay. And it's one of those Netflix shows that you can feel that they're dragging it out. They're just dragging. And compare that to the kids show writing of Avatar, which is like pure economical. Yo, within the first 30 seconds, we're going to introduce the plot of this episode. Within the first 5 minutes, we're going to introduce a new character. Just boom, boom, boom. We're going to fucking tell you a story in 20 minutes and make it entertaining. And it's like, yes, thank you, God, yes. That's how you write a TV show. That's good.
There is nothing wrong with a child's attention span when it comes to television and movies. If you can't keep the child involved, you're not going to keep the adults involved.
Yes. I mean, and that's one of the things I actually really enjoyed about the Witcher TV show is that a lot of those episodes were just standalone episodes where it's like, here's a monster of the week.
I was going to say, you're not going to say that it moves quickly because it moves fucking slowly. It's one of the reasons why I hated it.
I did not think that one moved slow, but I liked that each episode felt like its own self-contained thing. And it's like, I like this. More TV shows should do the monster of the week type of thing.
We've been watching Community on Netflix.
I finished that on Netflix like a month ago. That show's good.
So funny. So good.
Yes, it is.
Troy and Abed is just so good. They are the ultimate cute couple. They truly are. All right. So what you been playing this week? Because I'm not even gonna get into it because we all know what I've been playing. Elder Scrolls Online.
Still more. I wanna go back to some of that, but I also just want to do quests. I'm like, yeah, I'm done dungeon diving for a little bit. I want to do some story quests.
Oh, man, I am so like enjoying having Elder Scrolls Plus.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so nice. Maybe that's one of the things that's making me play it is because it is so much more relaxing when you don't have to worry about bag space ever.
Okay, good.
It's freaking-tastic. So yeah, I've been going into some of the DLC that I did not have that I now have because of Elder Scrolls. Just like doing what you've done, but for DLC areas.
Yeah.
And just blowing everything out.
That's good.
Yeah. And there's one particular area that is fairly small, way smaller than Vardenfell, which is where we started. Is essentially like about the same size as Vardenfell, but if it didn't have a big volcano in the center that completely negates a whole like area of it. So it's super easy to get around. There's not a lot of things that are in your way like Vardenfell. You sometimes had to go way north or way south to go around the volcano.
Yeah, you'll get up to a mountain thing and realize, oh, it's like 20 feet over there, but there's a fucking mountain in the way. I gotta go all the way around.
it. Yeah, there's very little of that because it's a swamp area.
That's cool.
But it's very cool. I'm enjoying it. It's essentially the who are the lizard people? The Argonian place. And it's it's a swamp. It's full of swampy things.
Okay.
They have this incredibly well named creature called was it a lizard bear or a bear lizard? I think it's a bear lizard.
Lizard.
A bear mixed with a lizard, and it's called a bear lizard.
Yeah,
they really put a lot of thought into that particular mob.
They had like 3 meetings over is it lizard bear or bear lizard?
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, it's a great area. Kind of understanding Argonian culture They do such a good job of world building with that game. Just these very and if you can either choose to pay attention to it or not, by reading the books or just like, going through every page of a dialogue with someone, you can really get into the different cultures of it. It's dare I say almost Tolkien-esque in the amount of detail that they go into with these cultures and these traditions and these ways of thinking. It's nothing is accidental, and it's really cool. And there was one particular mission that I came across last night that has to do with what they call the bonding ritual, which is sort of like a marriage, but it's not really. It's more like particular individuals within a tribe have been chosen as they are the egg layers for those seasons. And so it's not really so much about mating for love, although love can be part of it. It's about making eggs and propagating. And they had this bonding ritual where there were three different tribes that were all coming into this one tribe, which was very different than most other tribes, that they would actually get individuals from other tribes to come in and breed with them for eggs. And the suitors were not happy for various reasons. So you had to go out and do something to make them happy. And then they would participate in the bonding ritual. And there was this one guy who it was done so tongue in cheek that if you didn't know, if you were too young, it would go whoop right over your head. But if you were of an adult age and understood, everything he said was a double entendre, like to a hilarious level. Oh, it was so, so funny because, and it was just completely deadpan delivery. You wouldn't know if you weren't a grown up and had a kind of dirty mind. But yeah, like the first time you hear it, you're like, did I just hear that? Or was that just, like, haha. And then as you keep talking to him, more and more and more of these kind of double entendres come in and you realize, oh, they know exactly what they're doing. So Corey Wallace says, did you know that they used to have a lore master who created all of the lore? Makes sense. And that guy was overworked.
That's probably what they should.
He was totally overworked and totally underpaid because, man, I can't imagine what it would like to be a lore master for that game. Because the continuity, they must have a whole team on lore continuity there. Not to mention all the people that have written all the books that you pick up in all of the bookcases that have nothing to do with anything, but they're like pages and pages and pages. They're essentially essays about culture. It's just crazy. Bear Lizard. Yep, that's what it is. And yes, it's Merkmeyer is the neighborhood that I'm in. So yeah, that's what I've been doing and all I've been doing, with the exception of playing Fall Guys. I played a little bit of it. I downloaded that too. It is a free game this month for ESO. And so yeah, Fall Guys is, for all intents and purposes, the Floor is Lava, the game.
Yeah, except unlike the show, it's got sort of a battle royale-esque structure to it, where you start with 60 players,
right? And
then they all go through an obstacle course, and like the first 40 to pass the finish line get to move on, and then each new obstacle, each new level chips away at that group a little more until there's one remaining who's the king, who gets the crown.
Right. So you played it too?
Yes, I've played it quite a bit. I have actually won one game.
You did? Wow, that's impressive.
Yes, it was great because the last level was between I think it was only 4 or 5 people, and I was one of them. And it was the level where it's kind of like reverse tag, where someone has a foxtail and you have to grab them to get the foxtail, and then you run around with it, and they have to chase you to grab you. I started with it and did a pretty good job dodging people, and then lost it through most of the match. But then with 10 seconds left, there was a pile up, and I broke out of it with the tail and just started booking it in one direction. And no one could catch up to me in that time, and I was able to get through and got it. First crown.
Well done. Yeah, I played 2 or 3 rounds. Case in point, the pile up. It's hard because you don't have perspective on stuff because of your camera, so you can't see, like, sometimes there's a gap that you might fall through, but you can't see it from your camera perspective. So there's a certain amount of like, oh, you know, knowing that something is there gives you a distinct advantage. But it is a pretty fun game, and I don't know, I'd play a lot of it. It's definitely, you have to qualify for each round. A certain amount of people are going to get eliminated in every round.
Mm-hmm.
And I got eliminated immediately in my first round game. The second game I played, I got eliminated in the second round. But it's all right. I mean, it plays well. I've heard that there was, when it first came out, that it was almost impossible to get into a game because the servers were just getting pounded like crazy.
I've heard that too, but I have not had any serious issues.
No,
so
I didn't
with
either.
My game.
Yeah, but it's all right.
Yeah, it's a fun, goofy game.
Yeah, it's a time waster.
I have found that the best way to play it is to not play to win, because if you play to win and if you actually try, then that's just a recipe for frustration, because so much of the game is about piling up, and you know, you'll try to make a jump and then you'll land on someone and fall over, and then you won't be able to do it, or like someone will grab you and pull you back from the finish line and you won't qualify, and it's just a bunch of, you know, dumb things that will get in your way to prevent you from winning. And so if you take it too seriously, you will hate it, because it's not meant to be kind of a balanced, perfect thing. It's kind of meant to be stupid, goofy fun. And so as long as you accept that about it, I think you'll find that, yeah, it's a good time waster. It's a lot of, throughout the week, it would sort of be the first game I played. Like, I turn on the PlayStation, play Fall Guys for 10, 15 minutes, play a couple rounds, and then start into something else. Because, like you said, it's a good kind of goofy, enjoyable thing to play for a little bit.
Yeah, I was actually waiting for you to contact me to play it.
Yeah, I
can see this is definitely a game you want to play with someone else. You don't want to just, you know, by yourself. It's kind of quiet. It's kind of boring. But if you are playing with people, I can definitely see, as a group, it would be total fun.
Yeah, I think so too. I've had a lot of fun playing by myself, just enjoying those really close moments and then the utter failure. In the same way I enjoy watching something like Floor's Lava or Wipeout.
Mm-hmm.
I get that same enjoyment from this. And it's just, oh shit, this was a stupid thing. I can't believe I died. Oh, that was so close.
Now, did you, when you didn't qualify, did you actually stick around to see who did win?
Yeah, depending on when I got knocked out. You know, if I get knocked out in the second round, I'm not going to stick around for the rest of it. But if I get knocked out in the fourth or fifth round, yeah, I'm going to stick around. Like, if there's a less than 15 people left, I usually stick around just to see. Definitely, if there's like less than 10 people left, I'll stick around. I want to see who beat me. It's like, okay, motherfucker, which one of you fuckers did it?
Oh no! Oh.
And that's that right there in the video.
Inevitably, it's somebody else getting in your fucking way. That's the problem.
Yes, and that's why if you take it too seriously, you'll hate it. Because like in that, you got knocked over and this rotating thing kept hitting you and pushing you off, and you didn't have a chance to stand back up. And so I can see you getting frustrated, like, stand up, stand up, stand up. Why didn't you stand up? This game is broken. And it's like, no, it's not broken. It's just meant to be dumb.
Right. And I was actually very impressed with the amount of different competitions that they have.
Yeah, although
The courses were all different, and they seem to have, I mean, you just saw two different kinds of one, which was just an obstacle course. The second one was more of a game. You already mentioned the foxtail one. There's different mechanics, and you're constantly challenged. I played it. I didn't play it very long, but there were definitely things that I saw other places watching that was like, oh, that one's a kind of cool idea.
Yeah, except that I've definitely found there are some that repeat a lot. Like in this video, we've already seen this gate opening one.
Right. I think they start off with the an obstacle course, and then they go to more game stuff. Oh, nice.
That would be good. Yeah, that was a good jump. I wish there was just a little bit more of some kind of, not structure, but something to ensure that we played a bigger variety of games, because there are some game types that I've played once in all the time that I spent with it. And it's like, I get, the random is good to a degree, but because it's random, it feels like there's also a lot of game modes that people just won't ever get a chance to play. And it's like, that's kind of disappointing. I like it, but I want to actually see all the levels that you have. And I feel like I've only seen half.
Right.
In the chat, Coy asked if you can get a private game or does it always merge you into a public? And
I did not see an opportunity for a private game, but I didn't also look very hard.
There is no private game. Even if you're playing with others, it will put you into a public game. So you're always going to be part of that 60-person battle royale. You can't have a game mode where it's just 4 of you together.
And that kind of makes sense, because that kind of wrecks, having a bunch of just 4 people playing it would lose the fun of it. I mean, half the fun is the 20 car pileups in the middle that you have to avoid.
But I feel like I'm pretty sure eventually they'll release some sort of private game mode. And even if they don't want to reward people with a crown, because in the store, you can buy cosmetics, and a crown that you get for being in first is an actual currency that you can use to buy cosmetics. So I can understand them wanting to limit the number of crowns you can get. But if you have a private game mode, just give people the other type of currency. And this game mode that we're playing here, where people are running like on a treadmill with giant things of fruit coming at you, I've never actually played this game mode.
Well, this guy's in first. He's looking pretty good. Uh-oh. Oh, lucky bastard.
Oh, that's right. And you get an achievement if you can do an emote right before getting in first.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. So
yeah, it's a fun game. It's a fun game to watch. It's an all right game to play. I mean, I'm glad I got it free. I don't know that I would want this game to buy.
Yeah.
It is not a buy. It is a free only kind of game. I
think I would have been happy to pay $15-$20 for it. But then I also like,
that's way too much.
As someone who has defended The Floor is Lava voraciously on this podcast,
Yes, you have.
I like dumb game shows, and so this is up my alley.
Yep. So yeah, those are the 2 games that I played. What did you play?
Well, also up my alley, I played a 2D Souls-like game called Blasphemous. And Cody says you get a trophy for hugging. How do you hug? I'm gonna have to find someone to hug.
Oh, really?
But Blasphemous is a wonderfully fucked up game. So it's a 2D kind of fantasy Souls-like, where it takes place in this world that has been not overrun, but something called the Miracle has happened. Which basically, yes, this is it. Okay. and the miracle like manifests all of your sins physically. And so this game is full of religious imagery, but like really awful, fucked up religious imagery, like something out of Dante's Inferno, right? Like let's descend into hell and get really religious with all of our hell imagery. Like if you can somehow find like the opening cutscene, you can see like the guy taking this helmet, filling it with blood, and putting it over his head. But initially, I had heard a lot of mixed things about this game, and so I was a little hesitant buying it because I had heard that, yeah, for a 2D Souls-like, it's kind of okay. I have ended up really, really enjoying the hell out of it. Especially, I was talking to my brother about it because he had played it before, and he was lukewarm on it. But he is someone that really, really enjoyed Hollow Knight, the game that I fucking hated. So I think it's only appropriate that he was really down on this, and I have ended up really loving it. So, as a 2D Souls-like, I think it controls really, really well. You have a slide that you get from the beginning. Right away, you have this slide that's basically a dodge and allows you to get behind enemies. Like you can see right there, this guy in a heavy helmet is charging at you, and if you time your slide right, you can go past him. And it feels very good because in a 2D game, you can only go left and right. And so you need some way to be maneuverable, some way to get behind enemies and dodge them like you do in Dark Souls, because positioning is important in these games. And so having that ability to slide and dodge from the beginning is very satisfying and goes a long way to making the movement feel nice and making the movement feel maneuverable. That I'm never, one of the problems I have with Hollow Knight is that I just kind of felt like a tank. Like I'm just this heavy thing that's kind of bumbling around. And in this one, I actually feel live and maneuverable. I can jump, dodge, move fast, attack fast, all that good stuff. What I also really love about it is just the atmosphere about it. It captures that sense of Dark Souls, that confusion, that wonderful confusion of, I don't know what this is, but I'm going to interact with it to see what it does. At one point, I hit a wall and exposed a secret cave, and there was a little chalice, or not a chalice. What's the thing that they put holy water in? That comes out from the floor, like
A font?
Font, yeah. There was a font, and when I went up to it, it says, "Do you want to anoint yourself in the oil of pilgrims?" And I said, I have no fucking clue what that means at all, but sure, let's do it. And it was nice to get that confusion again, like in Dark Souls, and also Dark Souls, to walk through an area and sort of stumble into a boss fight and be surprised by it, and that oh shit moment that you get from encountering an enemy that you don't quite know how to interact with. And even all the enemy designs are similar, where some of the most frightening thing about a new enemy is I don't know what their attack pattern is.
Mm-hmm.
And I will encounter a new enemy, die to him a bunch because I'm learning the timing of his attacks, and then by the time I explore the area that he's in, I'm just running past him because I got that timing down. And it's that satisfying feeling of your skill growing better. Like I'm not defeating these enemies faster because my character is getting stronger. I'm defeating them faster because I know how they work, and I know how to dodge them, and I know how to fight them. And it's that satisfying feeling of me actually growing more skilled as a player instead of just the character growing stronger as an RPG. And yeah, I love the aesthetic of it, like the really dark and twisted satanic religious imagery is all great. And the fact that a lot of times people talk about these horrible things in very holy terms, like I'm feeling the holy pain of this, the grievous miracle. Thorns are a very big imagery in it. like a lot of the horror and physical deformities manifest themselves as thorns growing out of people's bodies to represent their different sins. And yeah, that leads to a lot of really cool horror-esque character and monster designs, where you fight a giant face that is kind of the flesh is peeling in one half of it. 3 horrible nuns that are shrouded in their nun veils that have spears that they're throwing
Or
at you and stuff.
habits.
Yeah. It just, I love the imagery. I love the atmosphere. I love the not knowing exactly what items do and learning more about the lore from reading items. One of the things I do like about it is the lore that you read from the items seems to have less to do with characters. It's not so much like, here's what this person did and why you should know them, as it is just general world building. Like, oh, here's a rosary bead. And I start reading about the rosary bead and how, like, this one lady made such beautiful rosary beads that eventually all the priests were like, if you don't have her rosaries, your beads, your rosary just isn't holy enough. And so eventually the church is like, only her beads can be on rosaries. And if you have any other rosary, you're a heretic and you can get in trouble for it. And the little lore thing ended with, well, what's going to happen when she's gone? And it's just little bits of world building like that I like. I don't think this woman who makes the rosary beads really has a role in the story that I'm playing, but I like that little bit of lore, just that background world building to this very twisted world. I think that's really cool. And so yeah, just it feels good to play. The combat is fast, but not. I still feel like I have to be thoughtful in how I attack. I can't just mash the buttons all the time. The dodging is very important in this one because, like you can see in this, if you time your attacks right, you can deflect a lot of enemies. So they go throw something at you, you hit it and deflect it back at them. The dodge can get you behind them, and pretty much the dodge works for like any enemy. All right to the spike. But it also, what was I saying? The dodge can get you behind any enemies. You have a parry that can block most attacks. And so, yeah, like Dark Souls, you can get fucked up easily. But once you know how to counter the enemies, you can counter them easily. And so it's actually a lot like Tsushima, in that if you don't know what you're doing, you can get fucked up. But if you know what you're doing, you can fuck them up. And that's always fun. Just to know that I can kill you as fast as you can kill me, and whoever wins won because they were just better. But I also really like the environments. I've been into like a bell that's buried in the earth that's really interesting to look at. I've been up in the mountains that were a more platformy section where there's a lot of jumping and a lot of bottomless pits that I would die if I fell into, coupled with wind that would blow me left or right that changed. And so that affected your jumps. You know, if the wind is with you, you can jump further. If it's not, you jump shorter. And so trying to factor that into all of your movements while dodging enemies and jumping on platforms that are falling, there's a lot to keep in mind, a lot to keep track of at once. And so that's been fun because that is very, very different from the bell that I've been in.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, all of the art and the environments are very unique. Like they all kind of have their own special gimmick to them that makes the environment dangerous to traverse. And again, you have to learn the tricks to traversing the environment. And yeah, all just overall, I have found that this is probably one of the better Souls-like games that I have played in general. And it surprised me that people have been kind of down on it. Not just my brother, but in other podcasts, I've seen this
What
game
did
in
they
particular.
not like about it?
I'm not sure. Like, I generally don't know. I've heard them complain about like the movement. They didn't like the movement or the attacks, and I think it feels great. My brother said he didn't like the sense of progression because your character doesn't level up. But I have found that in my time with this, and again, I compare it compared to Hollow Knight, because Hollow Knight was very similar in that you didn't level up, you just found equipment that made you stronger.
Mm-hmm.
In 5 to 6 hours I spent with Hollow Knight, I think I found one upgrade for my character, and I still couldn't dodge. In 5 to 6 hours I spent with this, I found health upgrades, magic upgrades, equipment upgrades, like charms for the rosary, relics that made me invulnerable to poison, a whole bunch of stuff for my sword and character, just tons of things to customize the character with. And even if those customized things are not, my sword is stronger or my shield is better, but the things that they change are still interesting. And yeah, just, oh, good. I'm glad to see on Steam that it's rated very positive, because I had heard generally mixed things about it, and to the point where I was hesitant to buy it. And I'm so glad I did, because
How much was it?
fucking love it. I think it was $16, and normally it's like 25, 20, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, it has made me now every like mixed Dark Souls-like game, 2D Souls-like game that I've heard of and I've put off buying, I will now probably try to get. There was another one called Death's Gambit that I had heard mixed things about, and I'm good. Whenever it's on sale again, I'm going to try to pick it up, because this one turned out to be so positive. And yeah, everything. If you like Dark Souls, and not just Souls-like, but Dark Souls in particular, I think this is definitely your game for you, because it captures the mood, the confusion, the world, the dark medieval atmosphere of that game in particular, very, very well. So yeah, I'm loving the heck out of Blasphemous. AC Wraith said just had a big update named Stir of Dawn on the 4th. I'm not sure what that is, but I'll have to look into that to see if there's any like DLC or something for it.
Well, I
Because
love
yeah,
how it feels very old school, but a much more updated version of an old school platformer.
yeah, actually, that's one of the things that made me play this until fucking 5 in the morning, when I looked at my phone and saw it was 3:30 and thought, okay, I'm gonna play for a half hour, 30 more minutes, and then I'll put it down. Look at my phone, it's like 4:45. I'm like, oh shit. There's a heavy Metroidvania-esque
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking.
the structure to the game, in that as I'm going through, at first I find a lot of environments where this poison mist is everywhere, and I can't go through. And then eventually I'll find an upgrade that makes me invulnerable to poison mist, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna go see what's in all those places. Or another one that was bothering me for so long is I would see all these little like particles floating in the air in a certain section, and it was clear that they were some type of platform, because there'd be like a thing up out of reach that I couldn't jump, and right in between me and it were these little particles, and I'm like, I know that there's a platform there somehow. I don't know how I can manifest that, but somewhere there's an upgrade that will put a platform there. And sure enough, I played enough and I found it. And I like how the game handles side quests, because as you go through, you find characters that will kind of ask you for stuff, but like Dark Souls, all that stuff feels hidden. And so it feels like as I'm scouring this environment for items, I'll come across a bunch of things and think, I don't know what this is for. I have no idea what this item does or why I have it, but it's in my quest items. And eventually I'll go back to these quest givers and just see, hey, do you want this thing that I've got? And so, for example, of just in terms of the atmosphere, the tone, the art style, and how that works with the items and the quests, I had found this egg that I didn't know what it was for. This fucking hairy egg just giant egg, like 3 times as big as your character, covered in hair. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this is, but there were 3 plates in front of it. And every time I interacted with them, it said, you have no offerings. I'm like, okay, eventually I have to do something here. The items that I found were very interesting. And I didn't know what these were at first, but I found like some coins, a broken wedding veil, and like some hair of a woman that was all about this woman refusing to get married. And they all ended with this saying of like, just things that revolved around a marriage, someone refusing to get married to a person. And those ended up being the items that I had to offer to this egg, which on its face makes no sense. Like, what does a wedding have to do with hairy egg? But when I offered them, the thing that happened is like, okay, I see what this has to do now. It's all part of the weird, you know, religiously deformed things that are in this world. But that's what I liked about it, is that you have an item, and I'm not quite sure how the item and the thing I use it on work, but I know that they do work. And it's that mystery of, I don't know how this world hangs together, but I know that there is an internal logic to it, even if I don't understand it. And that's one of the things about Dark Souls that's hard to capture for a lot of games, is that sense of, there is a logic here, I don't know it. How do I capture that confusion? And I think this game does it successfully. And
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah, AC Ray said he has Death's Gambit, and it seems kind of nifty. I'll have to check that out again. But yeah, Blasphemous, everything about it, I fucking love. Combat, art, atmosphere, mood, story, confusion, world building. Yeah, all up my alley.
Anything else?
I also played Erica, which was a free game last month for PlayStation Plus.
Okay.
And this is it's not really point and click. It's an FMV game. So
I'm so sorry, because I love FMV games.
Oh no, I enjoyed it.
I'm so sorry, I missed it.
Oh, you didn't download it?
I didn't. I'm an idiot.
Because it's actually a very good FMV game. One of the things I think it is really interesting is that whenever you interact with an item, it zooms in really close to the item, and then it uses the touchpad on the controller. It only uses the touchpad. You can actually download an app for the phone to use that instead, and you can actually use the touchpad use your phone has a controller instead, or you can use the touchpad. Either one works. I just ended up using the touchpad. And so when you interact with items, it zooms in really close, and you kind of swipe left or right to move the item. But how the FMV works is it's really well edited, where if I'm browsing through records, I'll like swipe down to have her, move through the records to find something. And then when she finds it, I swipe up. And as she lifts it up, the camera cuts to the actress lifting it up out of the thing. And the editing is so smooth that it actually helps immerse you in the game, where the transition from my actions to her actions feel indistinguishable. And
nice.
it's just all it is editing, and all it is editing from me swiping to pull up an item to a scene of her lifting the item and looking at it. Just, instead of me swiping up and it cuts to her holding it, it cuts to her actually in the process of lifting it up slightly and then looking at it. And it's a little tiny thing that actually amounts to more than you would expect. Just a little bit of filmmaking touch. Like, someone who made this knew the importance of fucking editing and timing, and it actually shows. the story itself, it's kind of a murder mystery. Erica gets sent a hand in the door. Like, she opens a door and there's a fucking hand in a package. And the detective is like, okay, yeah, this is from this like private hospital called Delphi House. And we think other people there might be targeted. I'm running my investigation from Delphi House. You should come there and stay at the hospital with me and the other people, because that's where all of the police are, right? That's where you will be more protected. And so you go there, and of course, more mysterious things happen, and you learn about a kind of larger conspiracy going on at Delphi House. And because it's a branching story, and so you don't really know all of what's going on through one path. I played and got two different endings. And it's interesting. Like, in the beginning, I think it's a little tough because they start mentioning names and people without you having the full context of who they are.
Right.
It's one of those stories where the first 10 minutes are very confusing, but after an hour, I feel like, okay, I actually know who these people are. I know who they're talking about.
How long is the game itself? If that's an hour in that you start to get context.
Oh, like 4 or 5 hours. I beat it twice in one sitting. So that should kind of give you some context about it. And yeah, it's just a cool little game. I'm glad that I played it. It's neat. I don't know who this actress is, but I fucking swear to God, she's Daenerys's sister.
I can see it. I can see it. She looks like a
spitting image of Emilia
Emily
Clarke.
Clarke, right?
Like, it's one of those things that I'm like, wait, who are you related? And she's not related. I did look it up, but I just every fucking time I see her.
Oh wow, yeah.
So that kind of bothers me. I have seen that twice, and I don't know how she got that bruise, because this is very early on in the game when this happens. And that's like one of the first mysterious things that happens. If she lifts her shirt and she's got a huge bruise on her stomach. And I don't know how that happens, but yeah, interesting game, interesting story, just a fun little thing to play for 5 hours. It's like, yeah, this is a cool, satisfying diversion. And
yeah,
I felt like I had been amassing a couple games like that between Fall Guys, Erica, and Blasphemous. I'd been amassing small games that I wanted to play before going back to the long Tsushima and the endless ESO.
mm-hmm.
So it felt nice to take a break and play things I could beat.
Yeah, especially a FMV, because there is no not beating an FMV. It's kind of the nature of it.
Yeah, it's clear that they want you to get to the end.
Right. So anything else we want to talk about before we move on?
No, that's all I played. I'm looking forward to playing more Blasphemous today, and maybe in next week get into some other stuff.
Okay.
I think
well, then,
I think the sale, the big PSN sale, is still going on. Did you ever pick up Remnant from the Ashes? Because I did, and I'm looking forward to playing that with you and Chaos whenever.
Yeah, okay, I'll do it today.
Okay, I mean, you don't have to.
It's going to be a total waste of money, but for me, but yeah, sure, why not?
You don't have to. I'll happily play it with just Chaos, but I know that
No, I suffer for the GameHounds fans.
Multiplayer game, and we have 3 people here. So
I do it for you people. I will do it for you people. I am going to be terrible at it. I'm going to hate every minute, but I'm going to do it, and you're going to watch right here on Twitch. It's going to be on the Twitch channel.
AC Ray said that it will be free on the Epic Store next week.
Yeah, but then I've got to play it on the PC, and I don't want to do that.
I hear you.
All right, so shall we hit the news?
Yeah.
All right, let's hit the news. This is the GameHounds news, the news, views, and commentary of the week in gaming with gamer Edie and Nick D. Nicola. And our first item is...
I just have a fun story. This I found
Sure.
really, really funny.
Okay.
So there's a writer whose name is let me look this up. John Boyne. He's an Irish novelist. He wrote The Boy in the Striped Pajamas, which is a Holocaust story that got made into a movie several years ago. He wrote a new, very serious literary novel called The Traveler at the Gates of Wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
There is a section of this novel where the character is talking about dyeing something red. And so I'm going to read you the quote from this book. The dyes that I use in my dressmaking will compose from various ingredients depending on the color required, but almost all required nightshade, sapphire, key swing, the leaves of the silent princess plant, octorock eyeball, swift violet, thistle, and hightail lizard. In addition, for the red that I had used for Abrilla's dress, I employed spicy pepper, the tail of the red lizarphos, and 4 Hylian shrooms. So what's really funny about those ingredients is that most of them aren't real.
No.
Those are the ingredients for dyeing in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And so seeing that, this person on Twitter, this woman named Dana Schwartz, who's also a writer, decided to do a little experiment. And she tweeted, where is it? Let me find it specifically. If you do a quote, if you search Google for ingredients red dye clothes, you know how Google will list the top search results within the search page. So you don't actually have to click through the link. It sort of takes some of the text from the website and puts it on the search page.
Right.
She took a screenshot where she Googled ingredients red dye clothes, and Google said red dye ingredients with a bullet point of apples, spicy pepper, Hylian shrooms, key swings, lizarpho tail, all these things. And so she said she realized he basically did a quick Google search for ingredients in red dye, found this stuff, and put it in the book without actually clicking through the link to see where it was.
So it was not intentional. He just
no. The quote, she tweeted.
Lazy.
He tweeted, so while John Boyne was doing perfunctory Google search for how to dye clothes red, he found a site listing monster parts and accidentally put them in his very serious book.
Oops.
So the final kicker to all of this is that John Boyne basically said, yeah.
You got me.
He tweeted, LOL, that is actually kind of hilarious. I'm totally willing to own it. Something tells me I'll be telling this anecdote on stage for many years to come. So basically, yeah, this very serious novelist Googled stuff, found a bunch of ingredients for the Zelda, and put them in his very serious literary novel. So now,
yeah,
octorock eyeballs are mentioned in a very serious literary eyeball.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
It also points out you absolutely need to, if you're ever writing a book, research stuff.
Well, not just research stuff. Click the Google link.
Yes, just click the Google
link. Click through to the link to see what the web page is.
Oh, well.
Yes.
So my big item is Sony had its state of play, the next one, and again did not have any information about the PlayStation 5, but they did announce and show gameplay on a ton of games.
They said that ahead of time, that it would just be
right.
It would basically just be showing off games that they've already mentioned.
Right. But we got some more information that was kind of cool. First one, we knew about Crash Bandicoot, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was just a rumor or if it was actually announced though. But they did announce a new Crash Bandicoot game.
Yeah, entirely new Crash Bandicoot game, and some of the mechanics looks kind of cool. I mean,
I didn't see the video. Was it not just you running at the screen again?
No. There was actual gameplay in it. And where you will actually be able to play a bunch of different characters, including Dingodile. And who's the girl? I'm not a Crash Bandicoot fan.
I have no idea.
Clarissa, Carita, whatever the female character, you could play her all the way through the game. There are going to be no microtransactions. And there's also going to be something that they call an inverted mode. Let me see if I can find that. Where
you play it upside down?
You play it upside down. Essentially, you can alter gravity and be able to run on the roof and then run on the ground and then run on the roof. Yeah. It's coming up in a second. It's really hard to get stuff to move forward in this thing. But yeah, I mean, it's still going to be, it's a Crash Bandicoot game. It is what it is. Yeah, her. What's everybody in the chat room probably knows. I'm sorry, I don't.
I have no idea. I never played Crash Bandicoot. I played some of the
I'm glad I'm not the only
remake.
one. I never even played that. But you can play many of these characters, including some of the villains all together, and a ton of, and it has to go down with these what they're showing now on the screen, the changing of clothes. There's going to be masks, and wearing these different masks will give you different abilities. One of them being the inverted mode. So yeah, I mean, it looks fine. It's a Crash game. I'm probably not going to play it. It's not exactly the kind of game I would want to play. There we go. There's the masks that give you different abilities.
Yeah,
and I think this is, there's the inverted mode. By taking off and putting on the mask, it allows you to, and also this one is a slow time where it slows time of everything around you. Also, you can make things phase in and out of existence. So a bunch of other cool, different features, and yeah. So there was that. The next thing that they mentioned, the next game, it was essentially all cute games. I mean, not all cute games. There were a lot of obviously other non-cute games, like Hitman was something that they mentioned, which is the interesting thing about Hitman is that they announced that it is going to be VR. And not just VR for the new Hitman, but also VR for Hitman 1 and Hitman 2.
That could be really interesting.
Oh man, VR is starting to get very compelling.
I would hope though that you would be able to interact with a lot of the environment, but something tells me that you won't be able to, because that might make it a little too chaotic.
Right.
Because in Hitman, it's very much like, you see a shelf full of things, and okay, you can only pick up the hammer on that shelf.
Right. But I just, oh man, I don't know. There's a part of me that says
you want to strangle someone in VR.
Wrong that I want to strangle somebody in VR. But yeah, you can play the whole trilogy in VR, which is kind of cool. Not just the new game. Braid Anniversary Edition was announced with a complete upgrade in what it was and what it will be.
The
visuals have been completely redone and in a hand painted style. And yeah, you loved Braid. I was Braid for me was me.
I loved it. I saw this and thought, you know what? I would buy Braid again just because it was such a good puzzle game.
Right. Yeah, I like the idea that they've gone back to improve the game and make it not just look better, but also the controls feel better. The movement is way more fluid.
What I am actually really looking forward to in this game is they have added a commentary mode.
Right.
So like you can get a lot of commentary on everything from like level design, the art, graphics, gameplay design, puzzle design, sound design, commentary on all that stuff. And I think that's really cool. I would buy it just for that.
Yeah. FYI, my UPS just beeped. So we may be losing our connection assuming that was just if it was just a little blurb, and that's fine. But if we die, there is a reason for it. It's because I've lost power.
Okay.
Just so you're warned. Let's see. They also talked about the pathless. It's an interesting concept. You play a archeress, and it's really about movement, and you shoot different targets as you're moving, and allows you accelerated movement. You
it's
also
like
have a bird, an eagle that is your friend, and you have to care for that eagle, and the eagle is part of your gameplay, and it allows you to fly.
yeah, the movement looks cool. You're like sliding across the world really quickly, and there's all these targets in the world, and it seems like you can automatically target them. And if you do, your slide meter refills, and you can keep going. And so that allows you to just kind of continually slide across the world without stopping. And it could be cool to traverse the thing. But yeah, I'm not quite sure what
and it's
you
beautiful
do.
looking. It's a gorgeous looking game. The art's very much an art style thing. You upgrade your eagle by finding hidden stuff and shooting it with your bow.
I did think it was a
You
little
have to
weird that
care
they
for your
said,
eagle.
yeah, that's right, you can clean it.
Yeah, you pet it to clean it.
They said that it's big open world, but there's no map, which
Right.
struck me as an interesting choice.
Yeah. But it is a very beautiful game.
Yeah, it looks nice. It's one of those games that you look at and go, yeah, this is a nice looking game. I don't know why you're necessarily using it to try to sell the PS5, because there's nothing about it that really screams we're next generation. It's just
Right.
yeah, here's a neat game with a neat art style.
Yeah. Let's see. Next game that they mentioned was Spelunky 2. Nah.
People love the hell out of that game.
Really?
I never got into it, but that game has its fanatics.
Really?
So, yeah.
I don't know about that. I mean, it just
I am with you. I
right.
never got into Splunky, but good goddamn, there are people that love that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody in the chat room was a huge fan of Spelunky? AC Wraith, this seems like your kind of game, but I could be wrong. But yeah, Spelunky 2 is coming. Yep. It is considered, AC Wraith says Spelunky is considered a fantastic roguelike. Okay. Light. AC he also said I watched tons of streams and played a decent amount though. Yeah, I figured it. It looks like your kind of game. Not mine, but yours, you know. And for those of you who are Spelunky fans, I'm super happy you're getting a sequel.
Yeah, I'm glad it's out there.
Yep. Next game that they mentioned was Eon Must Die, which to me, oh no, let's see, where is it? I am looking for Eon Must Die. Come on, where are you? I couldn't exactly tell what it was, but it seemed to me like it was a fighting game, button mashing fighting game with a really cool art style.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it was?
I'm also not entirely sure what type of game it is.
I mean,
but I do also have an
looks
interesting,
very cool.
I'll have an interesting story about Aeon Must Die.
You might as well hit it right now.
Yeah. So some developers have basically come out, former developers from former people that worked on the game said that this game was stolen from them. I guess 8 people from the creative team resigned. The developer is Limestone Games, and 8 people resigned from Limestone in July, citing poor working conditions and the behavior of its chief executive. And specifically, the CCO, Alexei, I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name, co-founded Limestone Games in 2016. And the CEO at the time was someone named Yaroslav. And I guess what Alexei goes on to accuse Yaroslav, Yaro, Alexei and Yaro. Alexei accuses Yaro of basically working with an investor to become the sole board member and assume total control, while Alexei was busy focusing on development of the game. And so basically accuses his co-founder of like underhandedly swiping the studio from him while he was looking at another game, while he was making the game.
Got it.
No idea what that means for the game itself. The publisher, Focus Home, has basically said, we didn't know, that's on them. Like, they are not owned by us. We're just publishing the game. Like, it's their thing. They got to work it out.
So it sounds like the developer, or at least the head of the studio of the developer, is not the greatest guy in the world. Kind of a dick.
And also not sure what it means for the release of the game. If it's going to get caught up in some sort of fight about who actually owns it.
Yep. This is one of those cases of, you don't burn bridges. That shit comes back at you. So, yep. So yeah, interesting. It's a cool looking game, not gonna lie. I'm not a fighting game person, and I was like, I kind of want to play that. I would be terrible at it, but I would watch a stream of that.
Yeah, I would watch someone play.
Yeah. Next game that they discussed was Anno Mutationum. Yeah, that game. It's a melee-focused adventure that puts a heavy emphasis on story.
Wait, melee? So I did not look up this trailer. I assumed it was like an expansion for the city builder Anno.
No.
Isn't that the name of like a Civilization-esque game?
Yes, it's a Civ game, but this is not that was Anno 18650 or something like that.
Yeah, Anno. There's Anno 1800.
Right, no, this is different. This is different. This is not that one.
I wonder if that game.
I don't know. Yeah, you obviously didn't look at the trailer, because if you see the trailer, it's clearly that it's not the same game.
The Anno series is basically Anno year, right? Anno 2070, Anno 1404, Anno 1701, and all of a sudden, then you have this Anno Mutationum, and it's like, oh, maybe that's some sci-fi version of Anno.
No, it's not at all.
I guarantee you.
No, this is a melee game.
Okay, now I'm actually looking at the trailer. This kind of looks neat.
Yeah. It definitely seems like a very cool game. Anno Mutationum. So yeah. So there's that. Then there was Bug Snacks. And it's a game that features a first-person point of view as you, a journalist, investigate the island and learn about the various bug snacks occupying it. You'll need to feed characters with their favorites and even make use of traps to capture creatures. And you'll have a physical map that will help you keep on track. Oh, I can take this off right here.
Yeah, this continues to look gloriously goofy, like Octodad, which was the developer's other game. This looks like the continue in that tradition.
Yeah. And so yeah, that's Bugsnax. And then what else have we got that they did? They did a ton of games. Star Wars Vader Immortal, which
All right,
is
that's
a
a
Vader
VR
VR game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
Not gonna lie, the idea of a Vader a VR game sounds really effing cool. I'm definitely on board for that. But you know, I mean, it's the lightsaber game we all wanted. We all want to be a Jedi, and we will have that chance with PlayStation VR. Are you thinking of getting a PlayStation VR, given all the VR games coming out now?
Not the current version, because I've heard that they're gonna put out. The rumor is that they're gonna have like an updated.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not buying a VR just yet.
Yeah, at the very least, an updated camera. I don't know if they'll change the move controllers, but yeah, I will wait to see if they have a PS5.
Well, it's
VR
coming out August 25th. So, I mean, it's obviously going to be for the VR now and for the next VR, whatever.
Oh, yeah,
the next
I
VR
just don't want to buy a VR thing and then have it be instantly obsolete.
That's a good point. Next one they brought up was Control. It's coming back with DLC, and there was an Alan Wake Easter egg in there. Seems like actually it's going to be more than Easter egg. It seems like Alan Wake might it's more than just an homage. It's that he's actually going to be part of the game.
Fuck, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
Did you not see the trailer?
No, I didn't.
Oh, Nick, listen, this is the trailer. So yeah, there's the DLC is coming. Where did I put it? Control. Second expansion is going to be available this month. It looks to and what was the name of the town in there? He is. See him? Yeah, Awe. That's the name of it.
So I did see something on Kotaku that basically said it's the Alan Wake expansion, and I thought it was just a cheeky play on words, but maybe Awe actually does stand
right.
for
You have to do some going to different places, and one of the places you go is Bright Falls.
That's cool. I might have to get that. I mean,
Yeah.
Control was good, so that's kind of an easy thing to get back to, and also Alan Wake was good.
Let's see. This was kind of a neat game that I was kind of curious about. Where is it? I'm looking for the link.
They had one game that I'm excited for because I saw it on Reddit like 2 to 3 years ago. Has a prototype of someone's like, look at this cool thing.
Is that what it is?
This is
it. Pedestrian. Yeah. You play a like the little man and the woman on Restroom, the man and the women symbols. You essentially connect doors. It's a little bit, I would imagine, like Portal. But it's puzzles in that you're trying to get these pedestrians from place A to place B.
Yeah, it's like
and navigating the world.
The initial image is a good like summary where it's like it has a cork board with multiple pieces of paper on it, and each piece of paper is kind of a different section of a level, and you can connect the paper together in different ways. Like there is no each side of the paper has a door on it, but you can mix and match what door leads where, and so you're trying to do that in order to get you to point B. But it's like the level is all mixed up, and you kind of choose. It's not that you're choosing how to construct it; it's that the level is all mixed up.
You're solving how to construct it.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. The puzzle is how to construct it, and that just looks neat.
That looks really neat. I'm kind of psyched about that. But the game that I think that I am really, really, really going to love is this game that I had not heard about previously.
Forget Your Life. Forget Your Life mentions Echochrome.
Huh?
Forget Your Life.
A little bit like Echochrome.
I liked Echochrome.
Yes. I would say that Pedestrian is the heir apparent to Echochrome. Oh, he says blah. I don't know. I loved Echo Chrome.
Echo Chrome, cool.
The game that made me kind of go, ooh, that has potential, is something called Hood, which is clearly it's called Hood Outlaws and Legends. It's from Sumo Newcastle and Focus Home Interactive. It's a medieval game that is about wraiths it features wraiths who brag about being able to bypass defenses to strike their enemies. It's essentially Robin Hood.
Yeah, it looks like
I think it might be
player-
team based.
It definitely seems team based in that there's like 4 people about to unlock a chest and then 4 other people attack them. It's
right. I think it might be
player
for team
co-op.
competitive, for team
Yeah.
competitive, but also co-op. Like it's co-op within the team, but you are competitive with other teams. It's team based, team deathmatch for all
I
intents
wonder
and purposes.
what you'll actually be doing. Like, if in theory, if this is like a 4-player team-based competitive thieving game, that could be cool. Like, who can steal the thing first?
Right.
That could be neat. Rival heists.
Right. And that, I mean, if you look at it from a Robin Hood point of view, is that the more that you have, the more that you can give away, which means that you will be loved more by the populace and get bonuses. Because, of course, the populace wants, the Bonnie and Clyde, the real life Bonnie and Clyde, were hard to find because they were so loved within the African American population down in the South that they could just go around the whole region and people would hide them because they A, were famous, and B, they gave away a lot of their money to the African Americans, in the South. When they would steal, they would give a little away to the neighborhood, and so people would hide them. And it would make sense that you have this team and it's Robin Hood. Therefore, the more that you steal and give away, the better chance you have of success against a team that doesn't win and hasn't given away yet.
Mm-hmm. I wish
I like that social motivation.
Because it sounds cool, but it's also pure speculation.
Right.
And so it's like, I wish we kind of got to see some mechanics, instead of just.
We just saw mechanics. We did not see, and some of the gameplay we didn't really see.
It was just combat gameplay.
Yeah.
That's what we saw.
And it's coming out 2021. Not everything here that they talked about was coming out 2021, but a lot of it was. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Then they also offered something that's a new title called Temtem, which looks total boring to me.
I've heard that's like a popular Pokemon-esque alternative.
Yeah. Okay, great. Whatever, Goofy. Temtem is clearly not my kind of game. Not saying it wouldn't be yours, but it's a game. You may like it, you may not. But it's coming out. And then finally, they got into some heavy-duty gameplay showing Godfall. That's how they wrapped it up, because they always wrap it up with their big announcement and their big development. But yeah, Godfall's coming. We knew that.
It was good to see a little bit more of it, considering that they've shown everything they've shown it before has been like minute and a half. Here's people beating each other up.
Right.
Here's beating someone up for a minute and a half, and then that's it.
Right. And then they also explained a little bit more about the game, and that it utilizes the dashing to move in and out of danger, that the enemies are kind of not movable. I'm going to say not movable. Your whole point is for you to move around them, and it is emphasizing offense over defense.
They actually went into the philosophy of it, how certain classes work, which I thought was good.
Right.
It was nice to see that details. I don't know if I like it. I feel like it's the kind of thing you'd have to play to really see if you'd enjoy it. But I appreciated finally getting like a good in-depth look at the mechanics of a game which is not something we've
Oh yeah,
really
they go
gotten
into
a lot of.
serious mechanics on this. They break down on two of the different kinds of weapons classes, which was longsword and dual wielding, about how they work and their advantages and disadvantages. And you're questing after these armor kits that are legendary armor kits and turn you into, for all intents and purposes, a god, and you are beating shit up as a god. Everything's split up into earth, water, air, and fire realms. So there's 4 different realms. And I think, as far as like the nuts and bolts of the announcement, the big thing is there's no microtransactions in the game. You get your equipment through gameplay, period.
I did think it was funny that they've made that a point to put in the video.
Yeah. Well, it seems like there's now, the world is split into 2 different types of announcements. There's microtransactions, yay! So you don't have to play the whole game in order to feel powerful and be able to get the full experience. And then there's no microtransactions. Nobody's going to be able to get you can't pay to win, and everything that you do is everything you get is based on your own gameplay. So they've turned both of those arguments into features. Like there's no feature and or bug. It is just features.
Yeah. It's the games of service era is weird.
Yeah. So there's 5 weapon classes.
I didn't mention that just briefly. Fall Guys has a season pass, which is kind of a weird thing. Basically, the longer you last in a match, you get more renown, and that acts as experience to level you up in the season pass, and you get cosmetic items, or you can go to the store and buy renown with real money to get cosmetic items. But just the fact that even this goofy game show game has a season pass to it is
right.
That's the world. Okay.
Yep. AC Ray says Temtem's rated very positive on Steam, and it's on early access right now.
I've heard people mention Temtem on podcasts, and it sounds like it's PlayStation getting a Pokemon game, because Pokemon is on Nintendo consoles, and so this is them finally getting a Pokemon clone of their own. So if you like Pokemon, this is a PlayStation version that you can play finally.
Absolutely. So yeah, that was pretty much the big news from Sony. But although there wasn't any news about the PlayStation 5 or any details about when we might know about the price, the sales date, pre-order date, anything. One thing that was announced this week is that the Vice President of Marketing, Eric Lempel, said that when the pre-orders go on sale, it won't be a surprise. They are going to make a announcement very well ahead of time. Hold on a second. Won't be surprise.
But what is well ahead of time, right? Like, well ahead of time would have been July.
He said the statement comes from Sony right after the rumors started swirling around about the price, and the pre-orders would be announced soon. That's been, talked about quite a bit lately. And there were a lot of people who were saying, yeah, they need to announce this soon because there's also a lot of rumors that there's going to be supply shortages because of COVID-19 and the manufacturing shutdown that happened in China earlier this year. But yeah, Sony Senior Vice President said that that they had heard that people are already starting to line up at some stores so that they could get on a pre-order list. Yes, people are starting to line up to get on a pre-order list or to get their pre-order. And they said, we will let you know when pre-orders happen. It's not going to happen with a minute's notice. We're going to, at some point, let you know when you can order PlayStation 5. They said If you want to be one of the first people to put your money down, that some retailers are already putting up lists where you will get alerted when the news drops, when pre-orders are going to happen. Best Buy, Target, and GameStop are all currently accepting signups for people who want to be notified of when the pre-orders happen. Amazon and Walmart have created PS5 landing pages as well, but they're not offering advanced notification signups. But yeah, they've Sony people are saying, yeah, we're not going to be dicks. We're not going to let you know that pre-orders open tomorrow, or opened pre-orders now. We're going to give you well enough in advance so that you don't have to stand out in front of stores right now to get a pre-order.
I'm honestly surprised that one of those businesses hasn't started doing a pre-order for the pre-order.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can like give them, give GameStop $10 and they'll be like, okay, we'll put you down for a pre-order when that becomes available. The pre-order.
Pre-order the pre-order. Yeah, well, I mean, it's competitive enough now that people are doing that. And certainly with all the scalpers coming in and swooping in as many of the free consoles as they can, that is absolutely going to be a thing.
Mm.
But yeah, if you haven't signed up on Best Buy, Target, or GameStop for announcements, I recommend you do that. And might I recommend you don't do it at GameStop? That's just me. GameStop is a disreputable company. Do not give GameStop any money for a pre-order. Do not put money down. GameStop is on the verge, in my humble opinion, which has absolutely no information. As far as I'm concerned, GameStop is close to bankruptcy. And I do not want to be in the position where I put money down on a console and then have the company dry up or not be able to deliver. Because it's not just you pre-ordering the console and then the console comes. It is you pre-ordering the console. If they're asking for money down, they've got to buy those consoles and, expend some money in order to get them in. If they don't have the cash to be able to do it and they can't get the credit to be able to do it, which is absolutely a possibility with GameStop. They don't have cash. They're working fully on credit. If they don't have the credit to bring in that stuff, it's all going to go to shit and your money's going to disappear. I'm not ordering from. No way. I like money way too much than to give my money to GameStop at this point. That is a risk I'm not willing to take. But Best Buy and Target are also doing a notification, and I am signing up for that as soon as I am done here. Do you think you're going to get a PlayStation or an Xbox at this point? Do you think you're going to get both or one?
I mean, I'm going to get a PlayStation 5 because I've spent this generation buying digital games on PSN, so I'm kind of invested in that ecosystem and that storefront. It's not really a competition, but depending on what Microsoft offers, like I would totally get their rumored Xbox Series S, the low-end one, and just be like, yeah, sure, I'll play some other stuff. Just to stream games using xCloud, because I still think Game Pass is really good. I initially misread his name, Blood Reaper, as Blood Raptor, and I honestly don't know which is better.
So AC Wraith has posted a story, which I can't look it up because of the way my feed comes up, but you might be able to click on it and do it. That there is an opinion piece out of VentureBeat that Sony and Microsoft, according to the author's opinion, probably don't know the price of their consoles at this point.
How do you not?
Entirely possible, because 2020, everything's been thrown. Everything in business has been thrown for complete loop. But he also posted in something in the chat room about how to pre-order the Sony PlayStation 5 out of PC Mag. But yeah, I'm 99% sure I'm getting a PlayStation 5. It is a total toss-up about this right now for the Xbox. I mean, a complete toss-up because I wasted the money on the Xbox One. I was a complete waste of money. I probably played it a total of maybe 50 hours since I owned it. Maybe 100 hours since I bought it. The PlayStation has become completely a vestigial appendage in my house. And the only thing I've ever really played on it, State of Decay. And I played quite a bit of it, but maybe 100 hours. But I don't think I've used it for hardly anything else. I don't even know if it works at this point. It may very well be broken for all I know. I haven't started it in a long, long time. Yeah, Xbox is going to have to make a very compelling argument to me. And this is coming from us who we were all 360. And it's proof, I think. I don't think I'm the only one. You don't even own an Xbox One. Yep. So
I mean, that's also
Sony-
kind of a part of Microsoft has kind of floundered this generation with their
Mhm.
exclusives.
Well, they floundered the generations of the exclusives because they floundered with Xbox One. And it says that the Xbox One is still they're reaping the rewards of their failure with the Xbox One and into this generation. They're going to have to make a compelling argument for me to have me come back over from Sony at this point. Sony, it is for Sony to lose at this point.
The thing is, I think they have made significant strides in offering a better service.
Right.
Like, looking at the two, I think Microsoft offers the better service. And if I wasn't so invested in the PSN as a store,
right,
I would totally be like, yeah, sure, I'll get Xbox just for Game Pass. Game Pass is fucking incredible.
Right.
And yeah, Sony has just offered nothing to match that in any way. And I think Sony, in a lot of ways, is just riding on their laurels. And both companies, in a way, are just kind of like two skateboards, or like they're playing a game of chicken, but both of the cars are in neutral and are just like,
the world's slowest game of chicken.
Yeah. And I
it's
did
like
I
two
did
old
read
people on scooters playing chicken with each other.
I did read the article that AC Wraith linked to, and it's basically just saying that price is one of the few things they can control, because with the economy and the production things, that's all stuff that's outside of their control. Price they can control, and they're like, we're going to control this to the last minute. But it did have a good part where the author wrote, the thing about this game of chicken is that it's probably going to have an anticlimactic ending where each console launches at the same price. Based on the specs, the Xbox is potentially more expensive to produce, although the PS5's exotic storage interface may push it over the Xbox. At the same time, Microsoft is more equipped to absorb the losses from the hardware than Sony is. So, yeah, chances are they're going to launch at the same price. They just want to see what that price is. But yeah, it's an interesting article that's kind of about the sense of control and trying to control the message and keeping a hand on one of the few aspects of this production that
nobody wants to be the first one. Nobody wants to be the first one to drop that price.
Yeah.
Because the other guy is going to go $1 cheaper. It's kind of like remember in
this console's $499, this console's $498.
Right. That's what they're going to do, especially Sony, because Sony's done that. Don't you remember with the friends list with Sony, when Sony was totally trolling Microsoft with the Xbox One, and Microsoft dropped that you could have like 199 people on
yeah, wasn't there some
list,
limit?
and Sony's like, well, you can have 200 on this PlayStation 5. They trolled. Oh yeah,
that.
Oh yeah, they totally. I don't know. It was 1,999 friends on. I can't remember what the number was, but yes, Sony came out that same day at E3 and said that you could have one more person on your friends list. And then there was the whole. Remember the video where they're like, "Oh, this is how you share a game on PlayStation," and one of them handed to the other one and goes, "Thanks." That they absolutely will troll each other on this. And whoever comes out with the first number, if the other one can't beat it by a lot, they will beat it by $1. They will. They will. So one of them's going to be whatever it is, whatever number it is, it's going to be an end in 99. The other one is going to be $1 cheaper. That's my prediction.
That would be funny.
Yeah. So anything else that you have?
Mm-hmm. So for the past 5 years, people have been speculating what Rocksteady's next game is, the team that made the Batman games.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple days ago, they just tweeted it out that they're working on a Suicide Squad game, which is kind of a weird way to announce a game that people have spent 5 years speculating about, and to announce it with a tweet and an image with like no trailer and no detail. But I guess DC or Warner Brothers is having a big DC event on August 22nd called the Fandom, where they'll talk about their movies and assumedly their games, which this will be a part of. But it's just kind of weird that they would announce it in this anticlimactic way instead of having a big Suicide Squad game reveal at the Fandom event.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I remember I was talking to a friend about this, that the Suicide Squad movie was infamously bad. And from that and Birds of Prey, the recent movie that came out earlier this year, the new Suicide Squad movie that James Gunn is working on, and this Suicide Squad game, we were speculating if all of these things were started around the same time, when someone at Warner Brothers thought, we're going to make Suicide Squad the next big thing, before the first movie just went. Or is this a part of a concentrated effort to rehabilitate the image of Suicide Squad after that first movie went?
Right. Sorry, that
was it. But then I had one other thing. Dr. Disrespect is back streaming.
Yep.
Not on Twitch, but on YouTube. And the most notable thing about it is that he still hasn't offered any details about why he was banned from Twitch. But it just...
And he's not gonna.
It just increases the conspiracy about it, because like people said that like he had like a potentially $100 million contract with them, and you don't just shut that shit down on a whim. Like the question of what he did and why Twitch banned him. And there's an article on Kotaku too that sort of it does a good job in summarizing his stream on YouTube. They also summarize a lot of the mystery around it. And they had one point that I hadn't heard before, where I guess I can't find it exactly, but basically the department of Twitch that normally handles these type of things was basically bypassed. And so even people from there don't know what's going on, and that basically it's some sort of top level decision that is being fucking locked down tight.
So I've been kind of following this a little bit. I'm not a fan of Dr. Disrespect. But,
I don't care about him. It's just the mystery around it is amazing and
fascinating
compelling.
From an industry point of view.
Yes.
So a couple of things. First off, him not saying anything does not mean a thing, and here's why. It is a fool who speaks to the press before or even after a lawsuit is filed. You gain nothing by doing that. And he's staying quiet because there's a lawsuit pending, believe you me. And there's no way he's unlike most, man, I'm going to say it. Sorry if you're a Twitch streamer. Most Twitch streamers are not very sophisticated about this kind of stuff. Dr. Disrespect, I did not know this, but is represented by one of the biggest talent agencies in the country, in the world right now. I forget, it was like Creative Artists International. It's like big time agents. So they have an entire publicity team, legal team. Yeah, I mean, his agents know what the fuck they're doing. They are Hollywood agents.
On that point, one thing mentioned in the Kotaku article is that last month he did a bunch of interviews with press outlets, basically not saying anything new. But it was, the Kotaku mentions, it's an obviously orchestrated publicity tour to basically paint him as the victim.
Right.
In that Twitch isn't going to say anything. And so the people that are representing Dr. Disrespect are like, we will get out, make him the victim in this, because Twitch isn't going to say anything. So yeah, the people representing him know what the fuck they're doing.
Control the narrative in such a way that information is not being conveyed at all, because they're
taking advantage of that by writing their own message, their own narrative.
Absolutely. And that is the smart thing to do. That's number one. And number two is, I was watching a very interesting video made by an attorney who, he's all right. He's not the greatest, but he's all right. But he did have very interesting speculation when this whole thing started of one of the possible reasons. And he breaks down everything that's been said to a very, very granular level. And one thing that he did kind of speculate is that this banning, or banning.
Ban.
This banning, Twitch dropping him, not just as a ban, but also dropping him as a sponsored guy, happened right at the time that Mixer went under. And this guy was kind of opining that it might have been because the biggest names in streaming, Ninja, and who's the other one that was over at Mixer? I can't remember his name.
I don't know anyone other than Ninja.
Yeah, well, there was the two biggest names, Dr. Disrespect being third. Not very distant, but third place, definitely behind these other two. They were taken from Twitch over to Mixer. Twitch then had to essentially build on their one-star baby that they had still, which was Dr. Disrespect, and I'm sure got a very, very expensive contract from Dr. Disrespect, because he has professional fucking agents who knew that Twitch really needed Dr. Disrespect at that point, because their two big cash cows had moved over to Mixer. Then Mixer goes over, and now you have the two biggest money cows, and it's when they move all of there's not going to be like, maybe their audience isn't going to go back. It's like Mixer's gone. They're taking 100% of their market and they're bringing them to whatever platform it is, and they go back to Twitch.
Because let's be honest, no one's going to go to Facebook Gaming.
Nobody's going to go to Facebook Gaming. Right. So they go back to Twitch. But now Twitch has spent all this money for Dr. Disrespect, and now they kind of don't need him. Like they're spending all their money. They've got to free up some cash in order to give Ninja a contract, so that there was something going on, and it has to do with the user agreement, not with the contract itself, but something with the user agreement, because they specifically mentioned the user agreement in their announcement about Dr. Disrespect. They leveraged in order to cancel their contract with Dr. Disrespect so they could take this budget, this sponsorship budget, and hand it to Ninja.
It's like they were sucking up to him because he was the one big guy, and then the moment they're like,
he was their big guy.
we
And
don't need you anymore.
we don't need you.
Finally, we can
Bye-bye.
tell you to fuck off.
Right. Now, I don't know
Interesting.
how true that is. I don't know. This guy, I'm not saying it's my opinion. I'm saying that this is an opinion that has been floated by somebody who is an attorney and has broken down all of the information that he could possibly find, including the user agreement down to like line by line, trying to figure out what could possibly be going on here. And that was his thoughts that now that they wanted Ninja, but they didn't have the budget for that, so they had to jettison Dr. Disrespect, and did so based on something within the user agreement.
It sounds plausible.
It definitely does.
I just like
the best, most wrong conspiracy theories usually have something plausible on them.
Oh yeah, always. Well, yeah. Not anymore. We've reached the point that they used to be somewhat plausible, and now they've just fucking gone off. Come on.
All right, good point.
But AC Wraith has a good point. You mentioned that a lot of Twitch streamers aren't very what'd you say?
Sophisticated.
Oh,
I'm right. I'm right there
Twitch
with you.
Now.
I am right there with you. I am not very sophisticated in the land of like.
I don't know about you.
Entertainment contract law, no. But you know what? When you are represented by one of the top talent agencies in the world, you immediately gain a level of sophistication. It's not necessarily you. It's going to be your agents and who you're being represented by. He has people.
I don't know.
He has people that are. Yes, he has.
I got people.
Yes, we don't have people.
I got people.
Who do you have?
You
have cats. That's all you have, Nick. You have cats. Yes. By the way, can I mention that I need to have an intervention with you?
For what?
Look at what you're wearing. Right.
Yeah, this
look
is
at what's on your lap. Shirt. What's on your lap?
A cat.
Right. And what are you drinking out of? Yeah, we need to have a talk, Nick.
This mug I use mostly for the podcast. I do it for you. I always try to have a cat themed mug for the podcast.
I gotta play
up the character.
Female. You do not have to be female to be a crazy cat lady. I'm just saying.
I try to. This was a present that I got for Christmas, and it's actually like a really good shirt. I really like this shirt. And you know what? I'm not gonna hide it. If I like the shirt, I'm gonna fucking wear it. You can't make me feel bad.
I need to talk to you about your problem.
Look, the world is burning. Let me enjoy my cat shirt and my coffee cat mug. I will be drinking from this as I die of COVID.
I will bury you in your cat t-shirt.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I have Shepherd?
Shepherd might want to be buried with me because he doesn't like anyone else. You can have Jupiter though.
No. I already have one head case in this house.
He's not a head case. He's not like a neurotic cat.
Oh, well, he's an ass case.
Ass? There's nothing wrong with his butt.
Well, the hind end. Everything from the hips back is a problem.
Because he's not neutered. Okay.
He's not neutered. Doesn't he have something that he's got something with his heart that won't let him get neutered.
Yeah, that's why he's not neutered.
Yeah,
because if you give him the anesthetic to try to neuter him, his heart won't come back.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, I don't do unneutered cats. That's not unneutered boy cats.
That's fair.
And I barely do unneutered female cats because they come with their own host of real fucking annoyances.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't either.
Yeah,
given
my
the choice.
my kitten. All of a sudden, it's like, it's getting to be that time. She's only like 5 months old. I probably got another month, and then I should probably get her spayed. And I wake up one morning and I hear her go, "Row, row." It's like, oh no, she went in to eat. And then she would do that on a regular basis, even long after she was spayed.
Anyways, I did want to say, and I want to ask this to AC Wraith, because he had a message in the chat that was just up that the way he uses Twitch is he hangs out with a lot of smaller streamers. So I started up the Twitch app the other week after we did our podcast and sort of browsed through it to try to find something to watch. And one of the things I noticed is that a lot of the streams on like the front page that I checked were just indescribably boring. Because a lot of the people, there was this woman who was like playing Tarkov, because we talked with Creation Chaos Andrew about Escape from Tarkov, and I wanted to watch a stream of it. So one was a woman in the menus, like basically creating a loadout, and I was watching this going, okay, maybe eventually she'll stop playing. And 10 minutes later, she's still working on the loadout, and I'm like, okay, fuck this. Let's go to someone else. Someone else was just talking and talking and talking and talking. And I'm like, okay, fuck you. I want to see someone playing. Finally, someone was playing, but they weren't talking about like what they were doing. It was just, yeah, I'm going to run around here, run around here, shoot this person, go in there and beat the level. I'm like, I don't get any sense of what that game is watching you. This is terrible. And so eventually I found someone playing Dead by Daylight, which at least I understand how that game works. And it was fun watching him play because he was actually talking, explaining, I'm going to hide here while the guy's going over there. Oh shit, he saw me. I'm going to run. How did he get me? That's not, being somewhat personable and having a persona, and it's like one person in the top 10, and I was just like, who is a good Twitch streamer to watch? Because when I was browsing, I was just like, these people are boring. So I want to ask the chat, who is a good streamer to watch?
Yeah.
Because I honestly don't know.
I want to know how so many of these streamers got to be so popular when they are 99% boring.
Yeah.
Like, how did they become such big streamers?
And
it's just,
I don't necessarily mean that as an insult, because the truth is, when I play games, I'm fucking boring because I'm not playing for an audience. I'm playing for me.
Right.
I'm totally invested in the game, but like, I don't know if you watch me if you would be entertained, because fuck it. I'm not playing for an audience. And it just feels like a lot of these Twitch streamers aren't doing that.
Yeah.
It's like that's playing for an audience is different than playing for yourself. Like, you have to be on, which, Dr. Disrespect is an asshole, but at least he has that idea of, I need a persona. Like, I am a character.
PewDiePie is the same way. You knew that PewDiePie was a fucking character.
Like, you need that persona. Even that persona is just you being on. Like, you still need that. So, yeah. Recommend me a Twitch streamer, because I couldn't find one on my own.
Yeah. And speaking of which, if you are watching us on Twitch, do a subscribe, please. It's kind of sad that, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I think that we do a pretty good job at what we do. We've been doing it long enough. But we do an okay job at what we do. Certainly more than 4 people watching would be good. Considering we would love you to actually promote us to Twitch. So make sure you subscribe and hit notify and do what you need to do. Recommend us to your other people that you watch in Twitch streams if they like games and like informative stuff. Yeah, our shows are 2 hours, but what the hell? Why not? I mean, they'd be probably a lot more interesting if we had more people. It's also a slow month. It's just been a slow month.
Okay, AC Wraith had an interesting point when he's talking about Twitch, that the chat aspect of it is a big
Mhm.
one. That it's sort of watching someone long enough to consider them worth hanging out with and interacting with them via the chat.
Right.
And obviously I wasn't doing that. I was just watching them. And he recommended, for commentary like I was looking for, he recommended this Let's Play creator called Nakatelli. Nakatelli.
Talili.
Talili, yeah. So
Mhm.
I'll do that. Which, yeah, I guess in terms of chat, I never quite understood how chat worked, because in a lot of Twitch streamers, that chat moves. Like our chat
Yeah, I don't know how
works
to do that.
because, you know, there's few enough people typing that I can read them all. But in
Right.
some of those chat streams, it's just
Right. It's just a fire hose.
it's like, I'm gonna read. Okay, I read 3 words and now it's off the screen.
Right.
So I saw a story about Dr. Disrespect streaming, and I hopped into the YouTube stream just to see what it was like. And he was just talking, but I was watching the chat. It was the fastest chat I have ever seen on any stream. The way that it moved, and I just thought, what is
Yeah, I
the
don't
point?
get it. Yeah.
What is the point?
Random Tuesday or that bronze girl.
Okay, I'll remember those.
Another one. All right.
So, yeah.
So yeah, make sure that you let your friends know that we are here and not bad, and you can actually interact with us. We love to interact with you. By the way, what game should we I was thinking of 2 things to do with the show just for fun, since it's just us in the chat room. Why not? One, I was thinking of having a pub quiz. What do you think? A pub quiz in this chat for us, just putting together a pub quiz, one random, like a Tuesday or Wednesday evening. It's a BYOB, so I'm sorry, I cannot serve you alcohol, but you can bring whatever libations you like, and we can all pub quiz together. And the other thing that I was thinking is, what was I thinking? God dang it. What game? Because I mean, obviously now we've got the show that's on the Twitch stream. So I want to do more games playing on the Twitch stream. Nick, I'm going to insist you need to start streaming some fucking games. All right. Seriously. You need to start streaming your games. Like when you play, Blasphemous and all those, stream those, please. Just hit stream. It's all you have to do. You don't even have to interact. Just hit stream and play. But yeah, if what games would you like us to stream, or me, or any of us? Tell us which podcaster, Nick, me, or Andrew, and which games, and we will make assignments to play those games through the week. Because when we're doing the show once a week, it's hard to get people come once a week for a show, but I would love to actually have more content throughout the week, including the games that we play. So yeah. Look for streams with 200 people or fewer, not less, fewer. And out of that, only a fraction will talk. So it'll be
Grammar Nazi.
Yes, it's the only good Nazi. It's a grammar Nazi.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Sorry, just what he said, like 200 people or fewer. And only a fraction of those will talk, so you can keep up with it better. That
I
makes
am
sense.
not playing Lego NES. First off, you can't stream. I mean, you could stream it on Twitch, but I don't feel like setting that up.
Wait, what's NES?
I'm assuming that he means for the
Nintendo Entertainment System?
Yeah.
There was a Lego game for the NES?
I don't think so.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Lego
NES
NES?
Before my time, friend.
Is he talking about Lego Laws?
Maybe.
But it's a typo?
Maybe. But I'm not gonna I mean, something that I can play on the PlayStation, something that I can hit share and it will go to you guys. Just let us know. Let me know in chat. What are you guys playing in the chat room? Since it's only a few of us here, what are you guys playing this week? And are you interested in making us play something? Lego NES. There it is, right there.
What? Oh, someone made an NES out of Legos.
Oh, okay. All right. No, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna make a Lego out of. Although that would probably get me a lot of get us a lot of.
Wait, this is
like NES out of Lego.
This is a Lego. Like, this isn't a fan made thing. This is an actual authorized Lego product.
Really?
Yeah, that's cool. It's a Lego NES with a little TV with Super Mario playing on it.
Well, I am
that's
looking this up
cool.
right now.
I would totally. It's even got the proper ports in the back of the TV.
Let me see.
That's a very nicely detailed thing. That's really cool. I can't believe it's $230. That's a little nuts.
Really? Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
But that's a really cool Lego set.
Yeah, that would be. Let's take a look and see.
Oh, geez, it's even got like a sticky thing so that you could move Mario on the screen. That's really clever.
Really?
I'm looking at all these pictures.
Wow, that is over the top.
Oh, it's even. Oh, I see how it works. There's a crank on it, and it looks like you crank it to pan the level across, and you've got a little Mario on a stick that you can make jump.
Oh my God. That's over the top. And no, I'm not doing that.
Oh, this wasn't the one. Yeah, this was what I was looking at. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
How much is that? How much is that kit?
$230. Out of stock at the moment, though, so don't worry. You can't get it even if you wanted it. But fuck,
Hawks play Super Meat Boy or Cuphead. Yes, I would love to see Lady Diana play Half-Life 3, but that's not going to happen either.
Are these authorized Lego products?
Are you want to share your screen, Bubba? Make life easy for me?
Wait, aren't you on that website? Weren't you there?
No, it's a video.
Oh, okay. Fuck. Where's God?
It's at the bottom of the thing. It says share screen.
Right. Okay. Let me close some of these tabs so that I can know what I'm working on.
You're the worst.
Share screen. Yeah. Okay.
By the way, Goalie's doing good. He's been tweeting us recently. He's doing great. He had a small heart procedure, and he is doing very well.
Can you see that?
Stranger
Things, the Upside Down.
Oh wow, that's kind of cool.
That's really cool.
$200.
I know.
That is insane. But it
even lights up.
It is kind of neat.
And yeah, like looking at are they not going to have links to other ones? Oh yeah. You got Pirates Trio. They had a Jurassic Park one that was like the gates, the welcome to Jurassic Park. Fuck, that's neat. Okay, $199. I gotta save up for that.
Hey, if you buy it, you know what? If you buy it and then you build it on the Twitch stream, I would pay for half. Just saying.
I might have to look into that.
Yeah, there you go. There is the link to Goalie's heart ablation procedure. If you want to see how he went. But yeah, he had a ablation, which is essentially just sending a roto-rooter down into his heart, into the valves of his, into the veins and around his heart, the arteries, and clearing it out because Kelly doesn't live a good life. You know what they found when they ablated his heart? Pure hate for you. That's all that they pulled out was just this
Shit.
black gunk, and it was just
So
it's like, wow, what is it? It's like smells like
do you
shit.
know how long I've spent filling that up and they just wiped it clean? God damn it.
I am not, Corey, I am not paying for you to make it. I am paying for
What if
Nick
he
to
does
make
it on the Twitch stream?
Mm-mm. No, I
Puts it
want Nick to do
together.
it. Nick needs to do it.
That's fine. I love Legos, man. I grew up with Legos. Legos are
I did too.
great.
That was my best friend in high school's. That was her birthday present that she wanted for her 18th birthday was Lego. She got so many Lego sets. Wow, that is really neat.
I
Now I
know.
want one.
Just the fact that they've got the house and it's all upside down and it's literally upside down.
That is really cool.
And oh my god, there's a front and back.
That is super cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I thought they found scorpion balls. Yeah, that's what else they found in his heart. They had to take out all the scorpion balls. Corey says that he has that Bugatti above his TV. The one that you're seeing on that page. If you scroll down, keep going, See,
Oh,
there we
that
go.
Bugatti?
Really?
Oh geez, $350. But that's this is a car. I don't care about
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah.
I've never been a car guy.
Gray gunk. It was only crumbled into rectangular prisms. Yeah, Gully texted me the other day. Actually texted both of us because that's the way he rolls.
Mhm.
And he said,
Oh, Coy Wallace says he has the Bugatti.
yes,
He has that. Oh, I
he
didn't know
has
you.
that.
Oh, I thought he was just showing it off. I didn't know you have it.
No, he has it above his television.
Oh, that's cool.
He says, let's see, where is it? Where didn't it's maybe that's not it. Where is it? Oh, there we go. He said, every time I watch a Nicolas Cage movie, I think of Nick because one of them is awesome.
Yeah, he's talking about me.
No, he's not.
Clearly.
No. Goalie hates you with so much passion. It's awesome. Yeah, he says no blood, pure alcohol. Yeah, he hasn't really been drinking. He started taking care of himself. You know what it is? It's just pure
Good.
stress. It was just stress. And
Yeah.
hate.
Yeah.
And
Stress
Nick
and hate.
Yeah.
I can't believe they cleared out all of my hate. It took a long time to build that up.
Mm-hmm. It's okay. Just gives you something to do. You got years and years to go to add that back in.
True.
All right. Well, do we want to close out the show for the week, sir?
Yeah, I don't have anything else.
All right. So,
In particular,
yeah, and we were dragging on this.
no.
Yeah, we're dragging this show pretty bad. So, let's close this out. You've been listening to GameHounds, episode 557. We recorded this on Sunday, August 9th, 2020. With me has been Nick DiNicola and me, Edie Sellers. If you ever want to get a hold of us, it is gamehounds.net is our website, and gamehounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker. That's speaker with an R, Spreaker.com. Join us live in the chat room. We didn't have anybody in the chat room for the audio podcast, but that's probably because everybody was listening to us on the YouTube channel or the Twitch channel. We do simulcast the live recording of this show on YouTube and Twitch. Under YouTube, it is GameHounds Vids. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to hit the notification bell. Don't forget to hit subscribe and let us know. And also like it all goes the same place and it all does good, but different things. It is GameHounds vids, as in videos on YouTube and on Twitch. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. It is the GameHounds on Twitch. Thank you so much, everyone. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page. It is the GameHounds on Facebook, and also our Twitter feed. It is at GameHounds. Yes, we do have a Twitter feed. Yes, it is working. Yes, I do check it on a regular basis. Thank you very much, AC Wraith, who is our link bitch and provides all the links in all of the various chats. He did remind me we have a Patreon. $1 a month is all we ask in order to help bring the video feed to you every single week, as we have for the last bajillion years. Well, at least the audio feed last bajillion years. The last year for the video feed. $1 a month is all we ask. It is patreon.com/GameHounds. Thank you so much to all the patrons. You are deeply appreciated. You guys make it all worthwhile. Have a great week. Take care of yourself. Please don't let anybody tell you it's a hoax. Wear your fucking masks. It's real and it's bad, even for young people. Also, wash your hands. Take care of yourself and have a great week. Talk to you guys next week. Bye. And we're out. Except on we still have the video feed going.
Do you want to take a guess as to what the most expensive of those big old Lego sets is?
You want to post it for me? The most expensive. What would be the most expensive of the Lego pieces? Not Star Wars. What would be expensive? Something incredibly yes, we had a news intro. Yes, we had a news intro. I just didn't play it very loud because I didn't want to blow my head off. I don't know. I honestly couldn't guess.
Well, you started off from the wrong point. It is a Star Wars set.
Oh, it is a Star Wars set. Okay.
The most expensive one.
Share it.
Oh shit. Okay.
Share it. This is a video show. You need to share the shit.
Jupiter woke up.
What? Why? Why? This I do not understand. What?
It's just a lot of pieces, and it's very big.
Corey Wallace knew.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like there's it looks like there's a whole inside too.
I just don't Corey, please explain to me how it even comes, like the rationale between of why a Lego would be $800. Yes, even if it is a lot of pieces. I mean, that's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
$800 for a Lego set.
And you want to know the second most?
No, I don't know.
It's another Star Wars one. It's a Star Destroyer.
How expensive? You know, if you don't if you don't close the window and just change the URL, then you don't have to keep resharing.
Well, I had the tab open. $700. $100 less for a Star Destroyer.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Lego are cool.
And
but
I know my brother has this. He had a Lego Star Destroyer that was big. I don't know if it's this one, though. I think it might be an older version.
it's just, who has that kind of disposable income? Seriously. I mean, yeah, I guess
Yeah, the
millionaires.
standards
But
are different.
if you're making the kind of money that would allow you to buy that, then when do you have time to work? Oh, that thing's fucking huge, isn't it?
Yeah,
Look
you can
how
see
big it is.
hand for scale.
Yeah, that's okay. That thing's huge. All right, that makes sense. Now it all makes sense because they didn't put it in idea of a scale. We're talking something that is like 4 or 5 feet long. That okay, that makes okay, yeah, sort of. I can see that being
There you
$700.
go.
But still. All right. Next week Andrew will be back. I'm assuming that he doesn't have COVID and isn't going to die. So
Fingers crossed.
yeah, he's probably sleeping right now because he said he was just feeling nauseous and low energy, which I told him to go get a COVID test, go get an appointment for a COVID test. So well, hopefully he did. But yeah, have a great week, everybody, and look on the feed. Make sure that you hit a notification bell on Twitch, however you get notified by Twitch, to let you know that we are going to go online, because we're going to be pumping out a lot more stuff on Twitch. Seriously, Nick, you need to start doing that.
Okay.
And Andrew too, if you're watching this, Andrew, make sure that you stream to Twitch. You have the login information now. There's no excuse. So I will talk to you. We will talk to you next week at the latest. So have a great weekend and a great week, everyone. Take care and bye.